Welcome to the weekly energy forecast. If you're new here, I'm Felicity. Like I said, this is the weekly energy forecast. I already have a card here that I have pulled from the tarot deck, and we will also get another card to complement it to bring through some more messages as well. Now, I just want to let you know that the Taurus season workshop is out. Okay, it's $11.11. It includes a workbook filled with rituals, journal prompts, and much more in there. Also, there is a meditation in there for you to keep. Okay, you can download it on your device and keep it. And this is a deep aura repair, which will just be really lovely if you've been feeling under the weather, overwhelmed, or just feeling like a bit off and you just need a nice deep aura repair. That will also give a reset to the energy body. And then also there is around a 30-minute tarot reading too, with lots of tangible guidance for you to work with, I should say, for all of Taurus season. And I also want to again mention my tarot course. Okay, my intuitive tarot course is officially available. And thank you so much to people that have already purchased it. You have no idea how much that means to me as like someone who creates something that is like from the depths of my soul and all of my almost 10 years of knowledge of the tarot and using the tarot and reading professionally as well. You know, all of that went into this, and it's just so wonderful to see that it has been received so well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you yourself are interested, just check the description box below. If you're here watching this on YouTube, there is a link there. Otherwise, Instagram, you can just head to the link in my bio or to intothefiremysteryschool.com. I also have a membership on there for women, so feel free to check that out as well. But let's get stuck into the message for this week. What I decided to do this week was to get all of the major arcana, okay, so the 21 cards of the major arcana, shuffle those and ask, what archetype are we working with this week? What is the message of this week that comes from the major arcana? And we got the High Priestess. I love this, okay? Why do I love it? Because it's the High Priestess, okay? It's the High Priestess. It's the all-knowing, it's the intuition, it's the psychic abilities, it's the esoteric world. It's the deep connection that you hold to yourself, to your own inner guide, okay? But also your connection to the divine, your connection to the universe, to God, however you choose to resonate with whichever term that you like to use here. It's a time for this week, is what I'm getting here, is that if you have been feeling really overwhelmed, because I do want to mention this week on Tuesday, we have a full moon in Scorpio, okay? Very powerful and transformative full moon. I did a workshop for my members, and let me tell you, the messages that came out, yeah, it's powerful. Think Phoenix rising and think alchemy, okay? So this is a really transformative full moon. It might have you feeling a little murky. It might have you feeling a little like this inside, okay? Potentially, okay? But you also might just feel like this is going to be really transformative for me and it feels really good. So this that energy will play out through this entire week, okay? So that energy will play out through this entire week. Now, with the High Priestess here and how this connects to this week ahead, plus also that full moon in Scorpio, is that if you have been feeling really in your head a lot, okay, Mercury retrograde, eclipse season, just feeling like overwhelmed, stressed, there's so much going on and you're just like, when am I going to catch a break? Something is dropping in. And when I say something is dropping in, I mean something is dropping in from your intuition, from your soul, your higher self. If you like, you could say your spirit guides, okay? That very well could be the case. But I want you to focus more on yourself, okay? So the higher self, the intuition, the soul. Because we should always be going there before we go out, okay? So before we go out, we should be going in. This is how we're able to learn discernment. It's really important, and being very connected to the body. So there's something dropping in here. It almost feels like it's a, okay, thank you. It's like a really beautiful, deep knowing that brings in a sense of calm. So if you've been feeling that stress, if you've been feeling that overwhelm, that anxious energy, I'm not talking anxiety, but I'm talking anxious energy. If you've been feeling that, something's dropping in, okay? Something's dropping in where it creates that calm, because it's just this deep knowing of everything's going to be okay. everything's going to be okay. For some of you, you might even get some insight into what that exactly is, or like how that might unfold for you. So keep an eye on, or keep an eye out in your dreams for symbolism, okay, for messages. You might even find this week that the like your dreams are just super vivid. There's messages coming through. They don't feel like dreams coming from the subconscious. They feel more like dreams that are coming from the soul, the higher self, or spirit, okay? For some of you though, it definitely could be connected to the subconscious. So whatever's coming up for you, it's like explore that, but go into the intuition first. This is going to be a great time this week as well to do some sort of meditation. Now, yes, this could be sitting down and meditating. This could be taking a moment of stillness and silence. This could be a guided meditation, but it could also be things like art or going for a walk in nature. No headphones, okay? No distractions, but going for a walk in nature, or sitting underneath a tree, or laying on the grass, or whatever feels good for you. But it's like, there's this beautiful energy coming through here of do something that brings you into a meditative state, okay? That brings you very into the body, but also being open and connected to receive, because there is definitely something that is dropping in, is what is coming through here. I'm also getting the message of like fertility, okay? So around creation. So tapping into the intuition this week to just like ask your intuition, you can't speak, ask your intuition what it is that you need to know right now, okay? You can write this out on a piece of paper, place it in front of you, and you can meditate on that. You can like sit there and you can ask that question and just see what drops through, okay? Just see what drops through. Don't overthink it. If you overthink it, that very Nine of Swords energy, it's going to be very difficult to receive it, okay? So you, like ask your intuition what it needs, but with this fertility energy as well, it's getting very clear on what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, but on a soul level, okay? On a soul level. So there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want that new bag, or I want that like holiday, or I want to go do this and that. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can be manifesting away on all of that stuff. But I'm talking about connecting with the soul and asking the soul, like, what is it? What is it that I truly want on a soul level? Then asking the intuition on what the next step is needed to move towards that, okay, to create that, to take one step closer to bringing that into fruition, because there is that beautiful fertility energy coming through here with the High Priestess as well. Okay, I'm going to pull a card to go with this. I'm just going to look around. I've got so many decks around me and I'm like, which one do I use? Which one am I drawn to for this week? Okay. Okay, no, interesting. We're gonna, oh, just drop something. I was gonna go an oracle, but they're just like the light seers is really calling me, but we're going into all the minor arcana. So they've got the major over here, so it's gonna be just the minor arcana. So what else can go along with this High Priestess for this week ahead, please, for the collective? Okay, beautiful. We have the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Wands as well. Interesting, because the Eight of Wands came out in the reading that I did in the workshop for the Scorpio full moon. A lot of beautiful energy and messages around that. Okay, okay. All right, so there's a message coming through here about dropping your shields to receive, dropping the shields to receive. Now, this can come through in many different ways. What a big theme coming through though here for me is that dropping the shields to receive is dropping what is in the way of receiving the clear information. Okay, so again, from your inner guide, from your intuition, from the soul, dropping the shields. What could this be? This could be being distracted on social media, or being distracted with TV, or just, just being distracted, okay? Being distracted, and actually taking time this week. Take some time this week to sit in stillness, to connect to the intuition. The best advice that I can give around deepening a connection with the intuition, because I get asked all the time, plus this is something that I can mentor on as well, including psychic abilities and all of that. But the best thing that I can say is to get comfortable in the silence. The more comfortable you can be in silence, the stronger you're going to build the intuition. Okay, now there are other things that go into that too, but in order to truly hear the intuition, we have to be comfortable in silence. Now, that sounds to some people like it's, oh, that's just like sounds super easy to me. And other people, it's difficult. For me, many moons ago, it was very, very difficult. I felt uncomfortable in the silence. I would distract myself by having the television on. I would have to pick up my phone versus just allowing myself to be comfortable in the silence. The more comfortable I got in the silence, the more I started to hear the intuition. The more I started to, I would hear what was going on in my mind first, just like the regular human mind, and then that would quieten, and then that direct channel would go down to the intuition and I would receive information. So if you can get comfortable in the silence, that's going to benefit you massively in helping you strengthen your intuition. Okay, so you can actually hear it. Another thing too, though, is just this week, just find some time to sit in stillness to receive messages of guidance from the intuition. If you have like an oracle deck, feel free to like pull a card from your oracle deck and receive some guidance like that, but you don't have to. At the end of the day, I kind of do recommend that you really start going in here. Tools are great. I love tools, okay, including Tarot, fantastic tool. But if we can know what's going on in here first without tools, that just creates even more magic, okay, and an even stronger intuition. But tools are fantastic to use and to even help get there as well. So just keep that in mind. But look, it's coming through basically, guys, of dropping the shields so that you can receive, okay? Now, this might also be receive information, but this might also be here with the Nine of Wands, because around like you're nearing the end of a tough cycle. Nines are nearing the end of a tough cycle. The next after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, which is the completion of a very tough cycle, okay, or a heavy cycle. So you're nearing the end of that. If you've been feeling, I don't want to use the word weak, but if you've been feeling weak, okay, that's all that's coming I can think of right now. If you're feeling weak, okay, or tired or whatever, it's like you're going to start to feel stronger. If you felt like you had some of your personal power stripped away or whatever it is, it's like you're gaining that back. You're feeling stronger. This is allowing you to have some quick movement. The Eight of Wands is quick movement. It's fast paced. It's moving in the right direction. It's moving in a more positive direction. So connect to the intuition, connect to the soul to receive that information and what your next step needs to be. Your next step might be just sit down and relax. Everything's coming together. Or it might be an actual physical step, tangible step that you can take as well. Also with the Nine of Wands, it's a reminder of boundaries. So having boundaries with yourself. Okay, again, like making sure like having boundaries with social media, having boundaries with friends, and also creating boundaries when connecting with spirit, when doing any sort of spiritual work. So creating a really sacred and safe space around you too will be beneficial, and is a basic 101 of spiritual hygiene. So make sure you're doing that. But there is something that's incoming very quickly, and it feels like a message. It could be a form of communication. Okay, so the Eight of Wands can indicate quick incoming communication. So you could receive a message or some form of communication that comes in really quickly. Just if you need to discern on it a little bit, connect to the intuition, okay? But find some time this week to connect, because there's something that wants to come through and it feels magical and it feels amazing. It also feels very, very important. So even if it doesn't necessarily feel amazing when you hear it, okay, or it's kind of like, oh, that's not the answer I wanted, know that that answer is just the truth, okay? And then something from that is going to bring in a lot of magic and going to create a lot of magic for you. So that is, I'm running out of time. So that is the messages for this week. I send you guys so much love, and I will see you next week.